Greetings, all. Welcome to the Elements of Spirit. This is the weekly reading series from ediblespirit.com, and I, Edible Spirit. You are Edible Spirit. We are Edible Spirit. A little bummed because I just recorded the whole ether reading, and in true Mercury retrograde fashion, it did not record properly. So we're back. I can show you the sketches were regarding the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and a little bit of solar plexus, but basically it was about forward motion, moving forward based in desire. We are moving forward based in desire, but we have to be really realistic about what we want now. So the vibe of this was just that Mercury retrograde, I believe, is turning up, ends on the 22nd. Sun goes from from Sagittarius into Capricorn on the 21st. Yes, great. Okay, remembering everything I need to tell you. On the 21st, on Thursday at like 8:15 Pacific, 11:15 Eastern, I'm going to do a solstice ritual live broadcast. It's exact at 8:28 a.m. Pacific time, so be about 25-30 minutes long. Guided meditation and little, DIY ritual for the solstice and winter solstice, shortest day of the year. Sun goes from Sagittarius into Capricorn, and then the next day, and Capricorn very business oriented, practical, regimented, and then on the 22nd when Mercury stations direct, all of the energy that's been happening, during the last 3 weeks kind of cascades and pops open. And my sense is that this has been a very weird and wonderful and unique retrograde because it's been this kind of container that's helped us to contextualize everything that's come up and come forth during the spell of time that Jupiter's been in Scorpio since October 10th. All the Harvey Weinstein stuff came out on the 11th. So the idea is that there's a lot of truth coming out of Scorpio. There's a lot of growth and expression and expansion coming out of these dynamics or material involving power, other people's resources, sex, control, and that we've all gotten some download simply because this bomb kind of went off in October. We're getting these downloads about, or just experiences about everything that we've kind of hidden in our own little corners, any shadow stuff, any stuff, especially involving sex, power, control, money. Example being with all the Hollywood stuff, it's like, oh, we think that Hollywood is all about glamour and these powerful women and these amazing characters. No, the truth is it's actually about all of these people. Well, part of the truth is that it's actually about all of these people using those powerful women, subjugating them, taking that power away. And so the power structure was not what we thought it was. Great example of what was released with Jupiter and Scorpio, followed by the retrograde, which we're well into, which I believe is sort of giving us this kind of mental overlay, this cognitive framework for us to understand whatever this Jupiter and Scorpio material is. So if you look back at the last couple weeks, any aha moments you've had, anything's kind of falling into place. I feel like I've had all of this stuff fall into place understanding-wise, but that it just hasn't been the ideal time to do anything about it. And that's what I've been talking to you guys about for the last couple of weeks, is that why try to do anything during this retrograde cycle? The time is not right. It's just not the right time. This week, that changes. It shifts. We get into practical Capricorn on Thursday. We get into all of the understanding and information either turns around or is released or is revealed around that time of the 22nd, 23rd. And then that's what the read here was too. Forward motion, moving forward based in desire, being really, truly realistic regarding what you want. My sense is that all of this Mercury retrograde material has given us an understanding of what we really want, maybe even in its rawest form. It's like, especially if it's in its most raw, unfiltered form, the influence of the Mercury retrograde will help us to understand that by presenting these opportunities for things to go wrong that all of a sudden tell us where our true motivations lay, So that's what the root chakra here is. And, good, I will overshare this other thing. There was one thing that I also mentioned to you in the reading that you're not able to watch, which was that I had this full body hives allergic reaction to returning home to LA. And I was like, just trying to deal with the situation at first. But once I was well enough to energetically heal from it, I started going, okay, what's the association with the skin, with these hives? What's going on here? The skin is all about what you're presenting, what you're putting out there. And I could say to you very certainly that since October, I have been on a journey of expanding, of sort of calling out all of the nooks and crannies and getting all of the stuff that's hiding in my corners to come into the light, so that I can walk my walk and talk my talk, so that I can be who I am instead of feeling like I am who I am while not necessarily being able to present that, feeling like I can present that to the world. That's what the skin's about, right? The skin is about presentation. So it's not like I was struggling to be authentic and therefore I got hives. The idea was that I went on this journey that was about my own self and my inner peace and my own authenticity, which kind of started in October, and go on this whole journey. And the idea would be that I come back home and now my skin is saying, bro, you need to make sure that your insides match your outsides, that the person that you are inside now is, equilibrated and living well in this space. And through the skin, it says, just make sure that you're presenting the truth at all times, right? Okay, so my point is that ties to this little overlay of root chakra, sacral chakra, kind of solar plexus. Root chakra, sacral chakra. Root chakra says, sacral chakra says, this is what I want. This is what I want to move forward. And Jupiter in Scorpio sort of blasts out the sacral chakra and is like, this is what you want, whether you realize it or not. But, the shock and awe in the first few moments of October, of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then as the cognitive framework starts to enter into the space, we can be like, wow, here's why that's fucked up. Here's what's happened to me. Here's what's going on. So the idea is that we are now positioned in a place where we've gotten a lot of information about whatever came out in October. And now we got to be honest with ourselves based on how we want to move forward. Because basically, once we get to the 22nd, there's going to be this huge surge of energy that comes out and forward motion, where rather than just understanding what I want, now it almost seems like the tides turn and we can actually do something about getting what we want. And, yes, I realize that desire is the cause of all suffering, but it is also the cause of, most phenomena on the earth plane, right? You want something, you go to try to get it, and you kind of see how it goes. And did I really want that? Do I want it again? Do I really need this? It's like a lot of the stuff that happens here, a lot of the opportunities for learning, maybe all of the opportunities, not all of them, but most of the opportunities for learning in the Earth School come from wanting things. So the idea here is that you've gotten information about what you really want, and you should go for it. I hate the word should. I dislike the word hate. But the idea here is that if you've been feeling frustrated like I have, yesterday I was the most emo, weeping all day, because I feel like I had to get rid of a quotient of, or express a quotient of sadness, desire, longing for stuff that maybe I want that I can't have anymore, that I got to move forward now. And okay, well, you had all sorts of feelings about that. That's fine. But, and that's an example of the Mercury retrograde making me realize that there are some things that I let go of that maybe I long for. But I can't lose myself in the longing for those things. I got to go for what I really want. I mean, if I want those things, I can go and get them, but I know I want other things more. So I'm going to turn in that direction and use this influence, even though I could barely move from the tears yesterday. That processing kind of comes to its peak, we'll say, its peak and climax when retrograde ends. And then I think the sun moving into Capricorn is going to give us just a totally different flow of practical, tangible, earth-based, Capricorn's earth sign, earth-based manifesting of the desires which we now understand and can hopefully admit more, right? And so that's your vibe this week is when I wrote the affirmation out before, I went through a couple versions of it, but the final one is, I accept my desires, I accept what I want. I accept my desires, I accept what I want. I accept my desires, I accept what I want. and express them through conscious choices and action. I mean, that's a given, because there was a little bit of solar plexus stuff where it's like, make peace with your desires and go for them using, conscious choices and actions. But the real read is about the acceptance of the desires during the build up to the 22nd. And then once the 22nd happens, I think that weirdly enough, whether it's work stuff or love stuff or life stuff, I just feel like there's going to be a little bit of more of a window than even I previously expected, where I was like, nothing's going to happen between now and the end of the year. But when retrograde turns on the 22nd, when it stations direct, Mercury, it leads to a sort of surge of energy, which I think could help you get stuff magically done, or at least progressed through the end of the year. And so it's important to make sure that you're conscious of the desires, so that you're not vibrating unconscious desires and spending energy attracting things to yourself that you don't really want, or going for things that you don't really desire, or not going for things that you do really desire. That's the vibe. That's the point. I accept my desires. I accept what I want. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Edible Spirit. YouTube.com/Edible Spirit to subscribe to this series. Then you'll get the updates as soon as they're published. And then finally, on Thursday, the 21st, 8:15ish, I will be doing a ritual, a solstice broadcast ritual moment for you guys. Love you. Mwah. See you later.